Okay. Good evening, guys. Looks like we are live. Rainbow Heart Freedom Eagle here with Baron Rainbow. I just wanted to jump on quickly to, first of all, send out the message to prepare. What do I mean? Go ahead and stock up on your food, your water, your pay your bills, like your electric bills, so you have light. I expected this sometime in April, but obviously it looks like it'll be happening now very soon. What do you call it? 10 Days of Darkness, the disclosure, global forced lockdown, a martial law. So, global lockdown, everyone will be forced to stay home. We're going to get the emergency broadcast. EBS, emergency broadcast system, is going to notify us, and that people will be forced to be awakened. We're going to be seeing these different confessions, the different disclosures. So globally, we're all going to be forced to stay home for these 10 days. So go ahead and prepare for that, pay your bills, stock up on food, water. You don't want to be at home and uncomfortable. Let's see. Okay, now that we're going to be moving into the quantum financial system, NESARA, JASARA, you can look that up, NESARA or GESARA. There's going to be a lot of changes. What you can do is go to Experian.com and see how you can remove your student loans. I heard of this already, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, someone who successfully got it removed in Australia. Now, we know people personally that we know in the flesh, that we know and they know us, that also got their student loans removed. So, and living here in the United States. So go ahead and go to Experian.com, EXPERIAN, and you can see, go ahead and check up on your, like for the credit scores and all that, FICO scores. Go ahead and go there and see how you can get rid of your student loans. And that's thousands of dollars automatically removed because, well, the financial reset. The new reality. Okay, next talking point. So some people have been asking me, how do you know who to trust? What do I mean? Like, you're trying to find out truth and do your own research. And if you haven't been doing this for the past decades or whatever, past 12 years, what have you, then it can be very overwhelming because there's a lot of disinformation, misinformation. And when you see people, okay, my discernment, my intuition, how I read the frequency, it's not, okay, what am I reading? Am I just looking at what they say? Am I just looking at what they do? No, I look and I read their frequency. So when I trust people, that's what I'm looking for. People that I have followed back in the day, I don't trust them now because they became paid agents. So this third talking point is how do I know if a person has become a paid agent? I've had many teachers who or mentors that I've looked up to, but something is off and it's shifted and changed. Here are some bullet points. That way you'll know. For example, if they have 40,000 subscribers or less, then more than likely, this is general. This is not exact, but these are some rules of thumb. Okay, when you see like 40,000 or less subscribers, and it's kind of capped there, but if it's something more, 40,000 or more, like 90,000, a million, like for example, Aslan, oh my gosh, okay, she's child of the Zionists. So that's what I mean by paid agent. These are some of the red flags when when they are pushed, propagated, when they are looking more successful, when they're talking about nothing, not really giving much, it's just fluff, noise, not really real information and intel to really empower people. And another thing is when they don't get incepted, when they don't get any strikes on their social media platforms such as YouTube or whatever, when they get shadow banned on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, what have you. You know, we've experienced this, and I'm not just saying this because we've experienced this. And yes, we are supporting and donating to the people who are filing lawsuits all around the world, you know, whether it be United States, Canada, for this kind of censorship, you know, class action lawsuits. Um, Things will be changing. And another thing, to prepare for all these resets, not just financial, but you know, the disclosure, all the things that will be um, more fully disclosed to the masses, because you know, this is just a replay. This movie has been shot and filmed, you know, produced years ago, like 3 years ago. You know, it's just coming more and more and more into fruition now. So for those of you who are like, oh, that person's still real. No, that's a clone. That's a CGI, computer generated image. The talking head is not even, is like not even debating with a real person anymore. There's just many. Let me get back on course. I was talking about, how do you know if it's a paid agent? Okay, I did mention the number of subscribers. I did mention if they don't get any strikes, if they don't get incepted. Like, what do I mean by incepted? Like the strikes. Oh, we know people who get strikes on their channel, like 3 strikes you're out, you get your whole channel deleted. Other people, they didn't even get any warning. They just got their whole channel deleted. And not just that, their backup channel on YouTube deleted as well. The thing is, when you're talking truth, and certain media moguls, there's 7 all around the world that control the mainstream media, want to control and suppress and consciously cap the people, then that's when, let me see, what am I trying to say? That's when they get blocked. That's when they get incepted. That's when they have their subscribers removed. That's when the notification bell is unchecked. So their subscribers are not notified anymore. What else? You try to find their videos and they're blocked. They're hidden. YouTube is purposely hiding it. Okay, so there's weak AI, medium AI, strong AI. These certain AI, like such as the medium AI, are hiding it, hiding them, hiding the videos. Even if you type it, you type the title, it still won't show. So these are the types of clues that you know when someone is a paid agent. And they didn't just have to start out that way. They can also be actually for the mission, for like the light, for the cause, you know, for the betterment, the evolution of the people of the world. And then they turned allegiances because they wanted to become more, quote unquote, successful. So what happens? They are not incepted. They get pushed and propagated. They look more successful. They get their numbers grow super fast, like subscribers, all that, subscribers and views. And the thing is, when there's a psyop, a controlled psychological operation, you know, when there's a psyop, there's many different kinds of psyops. Okay, the people who control the world, who have created this projection of their image of lack, why they want to depopulate, why they want control, why they want to siphon and parasite off of everyone and everything. This is done by design. I'm going to move. I don't like this looking like horns on my head. You know what? I shouldn't even care, because if I move it, it'll just look like that on the other one. It doesn't matter. The point is, those are signs. Those are signs that someone could be a paid agent. There's more people. I'm not naming the names here, but you know, as I talk about these, they are referring to specific people who are even not just nationwide, but famous worldwide. Like, for example, there's this, I'm going to refer to this specific man who is abroad. And, well, certain people have called him out saying, well, you're not really wanting to bring people up to the 5D. You want to limit them and just have them stay and remain at the 4D. Now, why? Oh, because now that more people are getting awakened, he doesn't he doesn't want people to surpass him. So he's limiting it and just having them, limiting the empowerment, the consciousness, the information, and just having them stay at the 4D because truly he doesn't want people to surpass him. And these other paid agents, when they're allowed to be seen more, when, like, for example, YouTube is allowing them to be seen more, because there are really, really great information. A lot of people who have great, great information, intel, wisdom to share, and they're hidden. Why are they hidden? It's because they don't want the people to know the information that will really empower the people. And then why is the stupidity propagated, like having 1 million views, 1 million subscribers, such as Aslan? And it's just nothing. It's just like dumbassery. Okay? That's clues there. What else? Yeah, there are people that I followed that I knew before, years ago, several years ago. And now that I've caught up to some of them, I said, oh, something's off, and I've even had other people confirm this. Like, everything this person says is right, on point, but there's some kind of attachment, or let's say, for example, maybe etheric parasite, something inside of them that doesn't belong there. That's because they opened themselves up and sold out. And they, friends of a feather flock together. So I've actually seen who their friends are and who they hang out with. And it's like, oh, okay, that just confirms even more to me that you guys sold out. That's why I felt funny about you guys for a long time in the last year or two. But before, I loved you so much, and now it's like something's off. And mind you, I still have compassion for these people because, life's hard and we all make wrong decisions sometimes. I know I do. And I don't regret it because that's how I grow the most. The fertilizer makes me grow stronger, more beautiful, more powerful, just like roses with thorns. It's not enough to just be like this delicate little flower, that smells sweet. You got to have thorns and learn and know how to have boundaries and protect yourself so you can survive. Okay. Why did I talk about how do you know when it's a paid agent? Because people were asking me. It's like, okay, we don't trust this person here. This is actually a parasite. He just wants, I don't know, he's not really giving anything. He just wants to be famous or whatever. And what's he doing? He's siphoning off and using people who have lesser subscribers than him and using their content. It's like, okay, can't you do your own work and research? Anyways, that's besides the point. So the first talking point was go ahead and prepare, stock up on food, water, pay your bills so you're not like stuck at home with no electricity. The 10 days of darkness, the disclosure will be coming up very soon. So put that as high priority on your list. Like, if not right now, I don't know where you are in the world, if or even tomorrow, because right now it's evening as I share. And then, yeah, for those of you who have student loans, go ahead and go to Experian.com to see how you can check if it's already been removed. I'm just recapping. So the third talking point was the red flags. How do you know if it's a paid agent or not? Some clues, some red flags. So forgive me, guys. I'm going through a lot. Keeping it real, I've been going through a lot of inner turmoil, internally, physically, externally, in my life. So if I don't look that, I don't know, peppy or attractive, hey, it shows. Just keeping it real. I've been going through a lot. And for those of you too, I mean, it's not easy. You may have been looking up to certain politicians, celebrities, just people you looked up to growing up. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's my homegirl. Oh, yeah, you had a crush on this celebrity, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, come to find out, oh my goodness, they have done all these misdeeds and they're paying for things that they had no business doing. But hey, it is what it is. Why did I bring that up? Because i'm gonna talk I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and just a little bit about my background to tie in why I brought up going through the hardships like yourselves. A lot of you are going through breakups, relationship breakups, um, just having, I don't want to say mental illness, but having your world shatter. So, for those of you who are listening, you got to brace yourselves. If you're already, you're already like used to it, you're up to speed all with all this stuff, good for you. And I mean, Bear and I have already known this stuff for a long time. It's just deeper and deeper and deeper, more details down the rabbit hole. So it's not as shocking or traumatic to us, but those who have had no idea of what's going on for hundreds of years, well, it can be traumatizing. You can feel betrayed. You can feel violated. Like, everyone colludes? What? The 13 families control the world? Control everything from the media to the banks to all these fake institutions that are not even government institutions. All these, well, not fake, but you know what I mean? They lied. It's illegal. It's not government institutions like they said. What do I mean? Everything from the money to the health, everything. You want examples like the IRS, the WHO, the NIH, the CDC, the CIA, everyone colluding. It's like, okay, you think, well, you're the Department of Defense, you're supposed to be protecting us, the people. Oh, you're the police, you're supposed to be protecting us, the people, not working for these, not being pedophile sympathizers or not working for the pedophile rings and even protecting them worldwide. You know, for those of you who have heard, you're probably watching this still and haven't gotten scared off yet because you're thinking, okay, maybe you're already familiar with what Bear and I talk about. He's more into like the politics. I'm more into the like, the politics and the macrocosm. I'm more into the microcosm of like the interpersonal relationships with yourself, with other people, with the environment and Mother Earth. So I have broken through many glass ceilings. What do I mean? Facing certain demons, inner demons of myself, healing certain traumas, wounds, blah, blah, blah. Not just from my past, but even facing, coming to acceptance and terms and processing, what's going on, not just in my personal life, but what's going on in the world and how it's going to affect us and the new reality that we choose. I mean, we can take our power back by number one, our resonance. Are you choosing to operate out of feeling the love, trust, abundance, faith, just knowing that we are safe, we will always be provided for, you know? Um, this, this, there's many things that have been misconstrued. We've mentioned that there are many psyops, and I'm just learning about so much more, not just several, multitude of psyops. Like when something trends, that's when you look the other way. Like back in the day, let's say in the 80s or whatever, veganism was not popular, was not trending. Why did it start to trend? Um, why? That's just one example of, okay, this has become psyoped. I can get into the details in our Patreon. I'm not going to do that here. Like I said, I just wanted to jump on briefly because my time schedule has been really demanding, and just like I said, I've been going through a lot, but I really wanted to at least jump on and number one, the warning, the preparation. And I didn't have to do this. Amidst all the haters and the attackers and the people who have betrayed us, um, I don't know. I still find it in my heart to want to help people, you know, and we don't have to agree, but take what you can take, use what you can use, and just ignore the rest. Filter it out, or ignore the rest. You may not be ready for it right now. It may not resonate with you, and that's totally fine. If you just take the part of, hey, prepare, stock up for the 10 days of disclosure, the 10 days of darkness, then so be it. Why am I talking about my foreign medicines? Well, you know, like I mentioned, the psyops, like veganism, that's one example. If it happens, if it's propagated by the media, there's a reason. And it's not just to do with what you think, it has to also do with the aliens, with them coming around to our earth and going shopping, and us humans being the herd, the cattle, the feed. Okay, so that's just one clue. I'm not going to dive too deep into that. Another sap, which you've heard us repeat, beat to a dead horse, like a dead horse, is the love and light sap. Why do I mention this? Because shadow work is so important in integrating yourselves. And we are going through a global dark night of the soul collectively. For those of you who are empaths, you got to keep healing yourselves. You got to keep transmuting it, because I know you're picking up on everyone's negative energy worldwide and all the chaos from all the transitions and all this shit, all this fertilizer, all this shifts, change. It's not necessarily bad, but it is, and it can be uncomfortable. And it is for me, and it probably is for a lot of you. That's why I'm talking about certain medicines that may be bastardized, the shadow aspects, such as vulture medicine. Oh, vultures are ugly, blah, blah, blah. Well, they serve an important part in the ecosystem. Oh, they take and decompose the dead bodies, the carcasses, just like our Phoenix logo here. You know, People may say, oh, love and light, oh, angels and all this and that. And that's great, but not all angels play harps. There are angels who actually have swords in their hands and slay evil, or just, clear and get rid of things that don't no longer belong. Like everything that's being exposed from, literally and metaphorically, no pun intended, from under the ground, hiding in the darkness under the ground, being emerged and getting cleared from the judicial systems, to spiritually, etherically, to sexually, to the conscious collective, just everything, physical and energetically, everything. This yin, the yin yang symbol with, the symbol, the darkness is bastardized. The darkness, the yin, is receptive, is cold, is slower, is dark, black. And this love and light psyop has bastardized that you are programmed, even through horror movies, you are programmed to be afraid of the dark. To be balanced, we must embrace both sides of us as individuals, as spiritual beings, the dark and the light. Our shadows, our sludge, our inner demons, those are powerful messages. Those are powerful treasures for us to heal and grow and empower ourselves when we become We're integrated. When we bring those shadows into the light, we embrace them, we face them, we give them love and light, and we um, integrate them, we transmute, we transcend them. But that's what I do. Most people are too uncomfortable to go there. And why can I bring people there? Because I've successfully and continue to do it with myself, with my other students, my other clients. And these are for people who are very courageous. This is not for the faint of heart. There are people who I'm not for. Who are those kind of people? Who just want to be, you know, told pleasant things. But I tell people what they need to hear in order for their transformation to happen. I don't just tell them pleasant things. I'm not one sided. I'm going to give you the integrated balance of the dark and the light. So other examples of this, which seems foreign, are the dark mother. Okay, like patriarchy, imbalanced patriarchy. Oh, why does men have to lead? This planet is matriarchal, is a woman, female, and that's the yin side. We're going to go back in this new reality that's happening. That's what's that's what it's also going to transform into. You know, oh, before it was just the white man on the top. Oh, guess what? It's going to be turning upside down. Who's going to have home court advantage now? The black woman. For those of you know science, the black woman is God. And what do I mean by that? You can research melanin. Melanin in the black market is sold, and it even costs more than gold. That should tell you something. So it's bastardized. The darkness is bastardized, yet it's so valuable. They want to suppress it. They want to trick you. They want to hide it from you. Melanin is blackness, is darkness. Okay? My first great awakening, the most intense one, my first one that I was aware of was when I was in my about 20 or early 20s sometime. And I'm bringing this up because maybe some of you may be feeling this right now, confused, overwhelmed, alone, feeling like no one understands you, a lot of anxiety, fear, feeling like the rug has just been pulled out under you, like there's no foundation to stand on. You're like, oh my God, I'm drowning. Like physically, emotionally, energetically, you're like, what do I do? There's so much change in this world. There's so much uncertainty. You feel like maybe your life has just shattered. And it's like all these things that you thought were real. It's not just mini shocks. It's like big shattering that it feels overwhelming. Like it can even be hard to get up in the morning or to just continue living life. You might even feel like suicidal or depressed. Like everything that you've been taught has been a lie. Like, wow, the people that I thought I was supposed to trust, everything's been a facade. Everything, this whole world is inverted. Everything has been lies. You might feel like, oh, it's pointless. What am I doing? Why am I still here? Why am I living? You might ask yourself, what's the purpose of my life? I mean, I'm here in all this fuckery and like the world is ending or whatever this you're thinking, all this BS or everything is just chaos in the world. You're like, well, what's the point in life? Why am I still here? How do I get back to feeling peaceful? How do I get back to feeling centered? How do I get back to wanting to live? How do I at least learn how to manage and cope with these kinds of emotions? Okay, so for those names, I will give a shout out because I can see some names, not all, but there are some that I can see. I want to say hi to Kim and Kat. and sending love and light prayers to you, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to blab my mouth on that. So basically, I'm not I'm not for people who want to pussyfoot around and don't want to really face their demons to heal them and personally transform themselves, take responsibility. They just want to be surrounded by people who are thinking they're going to help them, but they just tell them pleasant things. Basically, superficial band-aid, quick fix, but it's not really a fix. It's just going through the motions and fooling themselves, being in denial. Okay, you know what? I will be right back. I'll see you in about a minute or a few seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm here. Your patience, and yeah, I just had to tend to something. Hey, brother Coyote. Hey, Yoka. Miss you. All right, so just to recap. Oh, come on. Oh, I'm having. Okay. Is this still going on? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Something about reconnecting. Drop a comment. I want to know if you guys can still hear me or see me. I want to know if it's still working. All right. Well, you guys drop a comment. That way I know if I should continue talking or not. If it's actually successfully broadcasting. Can you see me? Can you hear me? I see you guys watching. Okay. Oh, it must be working because Kim just dropped a comment. Okay. So I'll continue because it does say something about reconnecting. There's a moth, relationship medicine. Did you see the moth? It was hovering above my head. Okay. So I'm just going to go on for a little bit more. Okay, to recap, for those who just joined in, to recap, the first thing was the preparation, stock up. If you don't know, just rewind it. Watch the playback. It's like, I don't know, maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes. So first talking point, preparation, prepare and stock up. Second talking point was the student loans, seeing that your student loans are cleared and or clearing them yourselves, going there on Experian.com and clearing them yourselves. A third talking point was how the red flags of knowing if it's a paid agent or not. And the fourth talking point is about foreign medicine, such as darkness, why darkness is bastardized. Just to let you know, whether you agree with me or not, really doesn't matter. You can do your own research and things can resonate with you or not. There can be angels that are good, angels that are bad. There can be demons that are good, demons that are bad. Yeah, I said it. Just like people, and they can change. If you research and hear stories, read the Bible, blah, 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 it may not be up to date where certain entities, spirit guides, or angels or demons are not even on the same side of good or evil or neutrality as you hear me. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback, Kim. Um, Certain entities, whether they be demons or angels, may not even be what you learned them to be in history because they have grown and changed. They may be playing out a different allegiance right now in this current time Q continuum. So basically, okay, that was the first talking point, the darkness, why darkness is bastardized and how you can use it for your empowerment. So I'm not for people who don't want to take personal responsibility. I am for people who are courageous enough to face their inner demons. And the thing is, it can be small, just like a little shadow, but the more you ignore it because you're avoiding it, the bigger it gets, and then it actually becomes an entity of, for example, a demon, etheric attachment with its own sentience, or what was I saying? A parasite, It can just be like a shadow form, but then because you've avoided it for so long, it becomes and has a life of its own. So it really is healthy and easier to face it head on while it's still early and fresh and, like kind of nip it in the bud. But when you have ignored an issue, you've avoided it and feared it for so long, it becomes harder to heal or more of a bigger deal or a bigger mess. Like the energy has grown so much that you have to put more energy to get rid of it, to heal it. Does that make sense? So why am I saying this? Because during this time of feeling betrayal and trying to understand the world of inversions, it's like this inverted world. Like, oh, why do these people lie to us? Why do they say that, okay, this is real, but they're fudging the numbers or they're fudging their gender? They want to portray something else. They get kicks out of it. They feed off of your energy because they're lying to you, and you're like believing certain things until you wake up, and then you realize, oh, okay, this is why you're doing it. This is how you did it. This is how you're still continuing to propagate it, from the vaccines to the media to the politicians um, to the, what is that word? AI, the artificial intelligence agenda, the not just transgender agenda, but the transhumanism agenda. It's like, why are these things that seem unnatural and unhealthy becoming? Why are they trying to normalize it? Why are they trying to normalize some of the celebrities shaving their heads off and walking around bald? That's a symptom of losing your hair, symptom of the radiation poisoning. Oh, they're trying to normalize it. They're trying to normalize everything so the people can be dumbed down and not wake up. But this great awakening is happening earlier than planned. It's happening faster, and it's good. Keep pinging everyone and waking people up. Keep red pilling yourself. So where I go is deep, it's profound, facing yourself, gluing back or sewing together the pieces that have been shattered of your reality, of your belief system, of everything that you thought was this paradigm. You might feel traumatized or disbelief or betrayal, and I may be for you, I may not be for you. Maybe you know someone and you're like, oh, okay, I think you're meant to talk with Rainbow and have like a reading or a strategy session. And basically, this is the medicine, the energy that I work with, being supportive, having an empathic ear, and just listening. It doesn't even always have to be a strategy session with all these strategies or solutions, but just being seen, observed, witnessed, and heard without any judgment, just being allowed to be heard from someone who actually gets you, feels you, and understands you and where you're coming from, who's already been there and who can bring you even further just by their very presence. That's what I do, because that's just who I am, and that's my medicine, one of my medicines. So some people, they get empowered just by being able to verbalize that, because other people don't get them. And maybe I can be that for you. My energy signature, you just know, okay, there's just something about this person. I need to go with this person right now, or maybe for a long time. Bear or myself or someone else, it doesn't matter, for whatever issue or thing it is that you're looking for. Like right now, what I'm talking about is peace of mind, like reclaiming your reality, because you thought you could trust certain figures when really they have been the ones doing harm to us since the beginning of time, or at the beginning of their existence. And not to, I mean, I could say, oh yeah, that's evil, that's good, but removing judgments, again, there's a reason for everything, and it's very healing and empowering to take the shit, the fertilizer, and use it to our advantage, to grow our character, to grow our wisdom, to grow our experiences, to fully experience life. And that's why we have darkness. That's why it's being exposed. That's why so many people are either getting red pilled and or becoming crazy, because they can't handle the things that are being revealed to them. Sometimes it's just easier for them to say, that's fake. They would never do that to me, to us. So there are, why did I put this? Okay, let's see. Okay, there are people who may be on my content watching now or during the replay. Trolls, agents, Karens, Kens, parasites, you reap what you sow, you pay your teachers back, you reciprocate, you pay whoever helps you, your spirit guides, your ancestors. And if you don't, then you collect more lack, more misfortunes. You have them starve, and then they neglect you. Well, that's why it's a reciprocation, the give and take, the balance. How do you pay? Oh, you put likes, you share, you whatever, you praise, you give energy, you give money, whatever it is. Which reminds me, I actually need to do that. I actually need to do that with very soon, after I get off here. So these people, there's a wide spectrum of sheer evil to benign, and in the middle, just like draining interactions. What do I mean? Like, you can be talking with someone and it's like, okay, you feel tired, you feel exhausted, you feel like, why do I feel drained trying to have a conversation with this person, whether it be in standing in line, online, on the internet, long distance, on the phone, in person, it doesn't matter. When people have low self-esteem, that when the relationship with the person's self has a low beliefs, has weakness instead of strength in oneself, instead of strength in one's confidence, when they feel weak, when they see their self-concept, their self-image, their self-worth as low, then they let themselves down. They betray themselves the most. They hurt themselves the most. And so they're not purposely trying to hurt you or drain you or attack you. It's just telling you that's their perception of the world. That's how they have their relationship with themselves. It's pretty draining. Like, I know people who never plan anything and they're just very wasteful, and just being with them is kind of irritating because you're like, okay, this doesn't make sense. But they're just so needy, and they're not necessarily trying to be harmful or nefarious. It's just that's how they perceive themselves. That's how they feel about themselves and the world. They feel like they're lacking, they're losing, like they're not enough, like they can't, like they're not empowered. They feel disempowered, or like they can't win in anything. Like the world is always attacking them or always dumping misfortunes on them. And so, why do I bring this up? You can look at yourself, see when we're more stressed and or sick, then we can be draining too. We can be vampiric, emotional vampires. We can be more parasitic. And you can heal this from awareness. Okay, do I need to pause? Do I need to self-reflect and see, why am I acting this way? Why am I radiating or broadcasting neediness, or, feeling like a vampire? It doesn't mean that you are, but if you continue that habit, then, you become that. You become what you think. That's why the abundance matrix versus the lack matrix. What are you radiating? How are you spending your time feeling? Do you mostly feel defeated, like a victim, like a loser, like, oh, lack is war, scarcity, fear, duality. Someone needs to be right. There needs to be a right person and a wrong person, or a right way to do things and a wrong way. Versus abundance, where it's unity, all sides, win, win, win. Everyone is important. Um, what else? There's more. You can tell I'm getting tired. Um, Love, faith, trust, abundance, safety. All basically, when I say abundance matrix, all the positive things, evolution versus devolution, like devolving, going down. It sounds like devil, devolution. So simple acts such as when you talk with someone or talk with yourself, listen to your mental chatter, being oppositional. Like another draining interaction could be, you're like, why am I talking about this? You talk about the world, now you talk about this. I'll get there. Some people are just like, you ask the question, oh, why is this stacked up on top of each other? And they just want to say, well, why shouldn't it not be? It doesn't even make sense. It's not logical. Or like you can say, okay, it's time to go outside. And this reminds me of my students, whether it be elementary, middle school, high school. Is okay, it's time to go outside, guys. No, it's not. It's not time yet. We still have 30 more seconds. You know what I mean? That's what I mean with an example of being oppositional, draining interactions. Um, or another example is the yeah buts. Like you say anything and it doesn't matter. Even if they contradict themselves, you hear yeah, but, and then they don't even have to agree with what they're saying. They just want to say yeah, but. I mean, I've had a student like this, and when I met the father, I was like, oh my goodness, I see where you get it from. Your father is like this. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, I went from the evils of the world, such as, human trafficking, aliens doing harm to humans, whatever. And mind you, the perception, these other people, whether they be demons, devils, nefarious aliens, negative aliens, they may not perceive what they're doing to be evil. On our side, we may perceive it to be evil, but They're being true to their element, being true to their nature. So these are all perceptions, and whose side are you seeing it from? There are many truths coexisting, partial truths all coexisting, like flat earth theory. Okay, the earth is round, the earth is flat. A friend of mine said, well, it is flat when you're looking at it from here, but when you rise and go higher and, levitate, you're looking down, it becomes round. So I thought that was a beautiful way of putting it. Instead of trying to make all these people against you or wrong, we can see the beauty and magic of how are these all truths that coexist, multiple truths that coexist instead of contradicting each other. I mean, yes, there's many things that I talk about that contradict each other, but it's this consciousness of looking at the perspective of, well, this person made it right, and they use this spirit guide, this energy, whatever, and this is saying it's positive, and this person used it for evil. Oh, well, this person used it for neutrality, or didn't even use that. They just used the energy, not necessarily that deity. But then why is that person successful at it? Why is this person failing at it? Or why is this person making it work? So is it really that this deity is evil, this deity is positive, or is it the person who's doing the magic, knowing how to make it work and alchemize it? So it makes you think, oh, is that just a placebo effect? Or is it really how powerful that person is in manifesting things? There's many partial truths, multiple truths. There are many truths that can and do exist. It's not necessarily right or wrong. It is what it is, and they coexist. So I brought up these draining interactions. Like, I'll give another example. There's some people, no matter what you do, they want to make your life a living hell. There's no issue. They will look for an issue. They will create an issue. I've really come to learn these people are very hurt. Hurt people hurt other people. So when you look at the human trafficking all around the world, you're like, okay, that's so evil. How can someone do these acts? They needed something. They're needy. They need to suck whatever it is, certain liquids, certain flesh, whatever, certain energies, loosh, blood. The thing is, stealing your consciousness, your soul, your memories, or maybe not even stealing. They gave it up. They sold out. They sold their souls. Now, I brought up draining interactions, and I'm tying it together with these nefarious acts that I just mentioned. You're like, that's a stretch, Rainbow. No, hear me out. When you look at the lack matrix and the abundance matrix, why are they doing this? Oh, why do you do the adrenochrome? Oh, because you want to look young. It's the youth serum. You want to continue to look young because you don't feel good enough about yourself to age with grace and wisdom. Why? That could be very on the extreme of very evil. And then on the other side, more benign, you're like, okay, this person just likes to be a pain in the ass and just be annoying at work and be draining to the whole meeting or to anyone and everyone they encounter. Just looking for problems, creating problems. It's like, that's not a problem, but you're making everything hard. That's draining. How does that relate to the people who like to eat flesh or harvest adrenochrome, participate in taking and using adrenochrome, the youth serum, which is diabolical? How does this draining interactions relate to that? Because the intention, they're operating from the lack matrix again. Oh, they don't feel good enough about themselves. They need to look young at the expense of killing young, innocent children, less than 10 years old, babies. For those of you who don't know, you can even look I don't even know if it's still up. You can look at her Twitter and see the panda eyes. This is what happens when they get that abused and they die. Why do they get that abused? Because that's how you harvest this glandular hormone, the adrenochrome, to create this serum, which is the drug that the elite use, the rich people use. This is what's been making all the money and making, well, one of the things that's been making all the money, like around the world, why they've been doing all this human trafficking. The the people who make it difficult, who hurt other people, who bully in school, or who create all these problems at work or in just in life in general, drama queens, drama kings, whatever. Just bad news bears, or just people who are just full of misfortunes and dramas. They're needy, they're draining. It's because they're also operating out of the lack matrix. They need attention, they need love. How do you remedy that? How do you cure that? You give it to yourself. You have to fill up your own cup. That way, you're not looking for drugs to get high. This adrenochrome is the crack cocaine of the rich people. Thousands of dollars for a little gram. These crimes against humanity, harvesting the melanin, harvesting the youth serum. It doesn't go without a price. People die. And they don't care. They have a guilty conscience. They can't sleep. They don't even have control over their bodies anymore. Heck, a lot of these people are not even alive anymore. Like I said in the beginning, we're watching the replay. We're watching the playback. The movie has been shot, and we're just going to get this disclosure very soon. Global disclosure. Full global martial law lockdown for the purpose of having these confessions, these disclosures. So, how do you prevent becoming one of those people? I'm not saying that, I'm accusing you or someone of being in the pedophilia rings and doing the human trafficking and doing these diabolical things, drinking blood, eating people's flesh, all this stuff, raping other people. These are many different forms of stealing, of attack, taking. And it all stems from operating out of the lack matrix because you don't feel good enough. You don't feel good enough? Well, that's why it's so important to face your shadows so you feel good enough. Society has raised us generationally. You can break the curse. You can heal the next 7 generations. It doesn't just have to be cellularly encoded in your DNA and passed down for 7 generations. You can be the one to break the curse in your family of this quote unquote hereditary disease or habit, such as being addicted to alcohol or what have you, or molestation, abusing your children, whether it be sexual or physical assault, doesn't matter. You can be the one to heal your family. It all can start with you. When you learn how to pull yourself out of the lack matrix and learn to love yourself, stop feeding yourself the BS of, I'm not good enough. I'm old, I'm ugly, I'm tired. No one listens to me, blah, blah, blah. I'm a loser, I'm a failure, blah, blah, blah. I'll never amount to anything in life. You are your worst own enemy. More so than anyone doing psychic attack on you or these people projecting, like the 13 families who create everything in the world as weaponry. Through everything, through media, clothes, money, the banks, the health, the vaccines, everything, the kidnappings. It doesn't have to be this way. When you love yourself that much, you'll be willing to face your darkness, skeletons in the closet, your subconscious or unconscious mind, metaphorically speaking. When you face your demons of what? Gluttony, greed, addictions, lack of self-esteem, whatever. Or maybe you've been traumatized. Maybe you were sexually molested, whatever. All these things in your past. You have to purposely dig them up if you're going to face them, acknowledge them, and heal them. That's the only way. There are no shortcuts. That's how you reclaim your power, your peace. Crazy. A lot of people are going crazy right now. Crazy just means shattered, many different pieces. A lot of people are feeling shattered. They're feeling like they lost their reality. That's why I'm saying collectively, the world is going through a global, not just global reset on all infrastructures from financial to medical to health to the governments to how we're going to have smaller governments instead of just one big, like what they wanted to have, this quote unquote new world order. Um, it's going to be healthier. And you got to project that. You got to feed into that. You are that powerful that when you imagine all these things, you are casting it out. That is you casting the spells of what you want. So get out of the fears and stop casting those dark, gloom, disempowering realities by taking control of your mind and your thoughts and knowing that just with the simple thought, you're starting the energy with thinking, the imagination, you're visualizing, you're broadcasting, you're putting your spells, you're putting it out there that we will have better for ourselves. We will feel safe. The children will be safe. Justice will be served. Justice will continue to be served. The balance, the imbalance of power, of the corruptness will be brought to balance, to what is natural again. It's not free. You have to reclaim it. You have to fight for it. You have to face your demons because this is just a reflection. Your microcosm, the lower personal levels, healing yourself, healing your demons in the closet, certain disempowering beliefs to traumatic events that may have been conscious to or repressed. It's time to heal them because it's just a reflection of what's going on in the macrocosms, what's going on with the aliens and our Earth, our planet Earth, what's going on in the world. All these different levels are just reflections of each other. Like, I was asking my guides, why do all these people get away with BS and fuckery and collecting a paycheck? They're not even doing their jobs, clocking in, clocking out, leaving, not even working, getting away with everything. Why? It pisses me off because I love to do the right thing. I love to reap rewards. I don't like to be that parasite who creates drama and trouble, who brings the whole team down. I love to be the person. It just makes me happy to make other people happy, to do the right thing, to be like when you think of your body, there's many cells in each organ, there's cells. You don't want to be that cancer cell. You want to be known as a team player. Oh, I contribute. I'm contributing to the healthiness, the wholeness, the wellness, the balance and harmony of this body, of this Adamic human race. You see? Let me take a beat here. You guys can breathe too. I know. You're like, okay, she's on her train. She's getting all intense again. When people get away with these things, okay, I'm gonna put a judgment. I'm being human. That's shameful. Y que vergüenza. Why do I say that? Kakahiya. Walang hiya. Why? Because there are people who are like in spiritual communities, gatherings, going to the solstice. Like it was a summer solstice celebration. It's like, what the fuck? You guys are celebrating this like you're all spiritual and I don't know. You're not spiritual. You talk about stealing and how to steal very expensive things like thousands of dollars from your work. That is shameful. Yes, that's a judgment. So what? I said it, let it go. Big deal. The point is, if that's the way you think, and that's just at the lower level, you yourself, how you treat your coworkers, everyone else, why? Because you're operating out of lack. There's not enough, so I need to steal. You need to steal from other people that you think have more than you. Karma. Karma will always catch up to you. The law of reciprocation, the give and take, the law of circulation, the balance. You're only creating more misfortunes if you're going to be stealing like that. So, for people to actually want to not just do those actions that are not right, like stealing these things and getting away with it. And mind you, these are even the managers who are trusted with keys to these jobs. Why did I bring up these examples? Okay. The people who clock in and out and don't work, they leave the premise. And yes, they do get in trouble eventually. It may take a while, but they do. It comes back to them, it catches up to them. Um, you know, they're stealing time. It's like, oh, you're getting paid, but you're not even working, you're not there. They're stealing equipment, thousands of dollars of equipment. Yeah, the things that I know. Not just embezzling money, but equipment, time, money, what have you. Um, they do this because it doesn't mean it's true. They have this perception that there is not enough. They operate out of lack. So, the blood. Oh, why do you need this youth serum at the expense of killing and hurting, torturing children? Why? Because you're operating out of lack. You don't feel good enough. You need to look young and whatever. You're addicted. You need to feel high. So you need this youth serum. Why do you steal people's time? You have this perception. They're not even conscious of it. They just do it. I'm so tired of seeing this corruptness. I see so much of it. I'm happy when I see people evolve. I'm happy when I see people have epiphanies and grow and have realizations. The good, the bad, the ugly, it's all pertinent. They're all important. We need the shit. We need the darkness to grow. That those are opportunities for growth. I don't regret anything that I did that was ever bad or that was done to me because they are our opportunities for growth. And that's why we're here on this earth plane, in this lifetime, in this dimension. So, perception. Are you operating out of the abundance matrix or the lack matrix? What is your perception? Do you perceive you as abundant? Do you perceive your world as abundant? Do you perceive through your lens as everything is abundant? Abundance of time, money, friends, love, self esteem, healthy food, or whatever it is that you like. Maybe abundance of, maybe people like to do, uh, want to be alone, like introverts, or maybe some people want to be with a lot of friends, extroverts. Maybe some people want to have meaningful sex. Maybe some people want to have toys, like, physical toys, personal belongings, like ATVs or something, or GI Joes. I don't know, collectors. Maybe other people are just like, no, I just want the time to paint. I just want the time to watch TV, to binge watch. I just want the time to cook. So the abundance of whatever brings you joy, when you follow your desires, and I'm not talking about like evil desires, what turns you on, what makes you happy. Oh, okay, I need to read this book. I need to call this friend, whatever. What it's different for me, it's different for you. And it'll be different for you according to different time frames, what you need at this time that'll turn you on, bring you not just back to balance and empowerment, but bring you to what lights you up like a Christmas tree, what makes you happy. Why am I talking about this? The perception of You have everything you want because you allow yourself to feel abundant already, expansive, joyful. Oh, I already have those things. It's not just about money. What is it with the time and money and time freedom that you actually want to do with yourself? What are the experiences that you want to have? Like some people just want to get high. Other people, it's like, oh, I want to have meaningful conversations. Oh, I want to, I don't know, set up this party, this gathering that has meaningful interactions where people blossom, evolve, and grow. So there's a lot of darkness in ourselves, in the world. And there's so much beauty and power and um, potential at the same time. It's the contrast. What are you feeding? Yes, the darkness will be there. Yes, you got to tend to it and pull your own weeds, slay your own demons. But you have to make a purposeful decision and make time to grow and water your feelings of love, abundance, expansiveness, of turning on your joy. And that's different for each individual. Sometimes it might be getting off the ass and being busy, being active, like running. Or for other people, it might just be like, oh, I need to hit pause and slow down. So, this perception of you feel abundant versus you feel lack, this is what causes all the problems in the world. This is what causes all the problems in your cells, in your health, in your career, in your relationship, in what's going on with the governments, what's going on with the aliens and how we interact with them, and the treaties and the different dimensions. Everything is interconnected, but you have the power to take personal responsibility and reclaim your peace, joy, love, happiness, your power. It's just a matter of you feeding it, taking personal responsibility for it. With that, this is Rainbow Heart Freedom Eagle signing out. Go ahead and prepare, stock up. All right. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch the first like 5 to 10 minutes of this. I will wish you well and peace and many blessings. For those of you who are interested, we do have our patreon.com / Bear and Rainbow Shamanic Healers. You can contact us on our social media because I don't think the contact submission form on our website, bearandrainbow.com, is not working. I don't think it's working right now. So yeah, if you want to book a session with me, then yeah, contact on our social media. Bye guys. Peace and blessings. Healing. It is all that is.